Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. In 2012, Patek Philippe launched the 5204, the successor to the legendary 1990s 5004 Patek's split-second Perpetual calendar chronograph. Now that original watch was 36 millimeters. The 2012 5204, 40 millimeters. And then for 2016, this variant debuted. This is the 5204R-001. The variant was made from 2016 through its sunset and discontinuation in 2020. So here in rose gold, split seconds Perpetual calendar chronograph, 40 millimeters in diameter, in profile 14.5 millimeters thick but short at 47.1 lug-to-lug with a 20 millimeter spacing in between the lugs. Now on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters circumference, I appreciate both the 5204 and the 5004. They both wear well. I would say this feels a little bit more contemporary. It's certainly easier to see. From a legibility standpoint, the larger dial does benefit the cause of reading your watch precisely and easily. I would recommend this for a wrist as small as 14 centimeters circumference because I have quite a bit of clearance and it's not long lug-to-lug. Although it's not thin either, it is very dramatically sloped across its case band, so it should be able to float under a dress cuff. Taking a look at the strap, large, very large, rectangular and symmetrical scale alligator leather. You can see right here, it is a Patek Philippe factory strap. For some reason, Patek calls its rectangular scales square, but do my eyes deceive me? This is a rectangle, or something approximating it. It is a lovely sort of black cherry red with a gloss finish, and as you can see, a lightly contrasting brown stitch with a sheer cut edge lacquered for refinement, calfskin on the bottom, a Patek factory strap in excellent condition. It's got a little bit of a distressed grain to it, which looks kind of vintage. You can see the company uses pull-tab spring bars, so you can pop the strap off the case without a tool. And then we have a folding clasp with the Calatrava Cross, which is the logo of the manufacturer. Single fold with a radial spring that sockets into this hole and provides a great deal of security, a friction fit snapshot. The lugs are beautifully made, as you can see, welded on and then hand filed to create this beautiful break between lug profile and case. This is how you make a case if you don't have to make thousands of them. Beautifully done, laborious hand craftsmanship with the welding and filing of the lugs. Then we have a little fluted edge on the flank of each lug, and you can see there's a symmetrical fluted edge on the interface of each lug. We have a coaxial pusher within the crown for the split second function. We have two column wheels here, one for the split and one for the primary. The watch features manual winding, a 65-hour power reserve, a 4 Hz beat rate. On the dial side, a surprising amount of luminescence for a watch that looks like it might be a dress-only type of complication, but this is designed to be a daily companion. 30 meters water resistant, and despite what Patek says today about 30 meters, I recommend you confine your water exposure to splashes while washing your hands or the rain only. Taking a look here, you can see rose gold hands as well as indices, and that we have what Patek would describe as a frosted silver-opaline, so a very gentle silver granular metallic without a brushed pattern as a sunburst would have. Taking a look at the scale outboard, you can see we've got an easy means of reading chronograph fractions of seconds, seconds and minutes. Patek dispensed with the idea of a tachymetric scale here, and I think that's in good taste. One of the quirks of the 29535 platform is if you look at the centers of these two flanking counters, they're actually quite a bit below the center line of the hands. Perpetual calendar, no need for adjustment until the year 2100, and the moon phase goes 122 years between adjustments. So we've got our day, date, month, leap year phase, moon phase, and then a day-night indicator. And that little day-night indicator lets you know, for example, by the way, note hacking seconds, lets you know whether it's night or day. So is that 9 a.m. or 9 p.m.? Well, you look at the little day-night indicator, it's dark, so that is 9 p.m. That is your cue not to use the pusher adjusters to change the calendar during those blacked out hours. Taking a quick look at the case back, there is a lot to see on the case back. I promised you 2 column wheels. Here's 1, here's 2. This is the primary lateral clutch, 4 Hz beat rate, free sprung gyromax style balance architecture, overcoil hairspring, 6 position adjustment, instantaneous jumping minute. And the column wheel feel is exemplary. A beautiful movement, pivoting on 34 jewels. It is a fully in-house caliber, and a few notes about the balance architecture. So we've got the Gyromax style system, which is one of the earliest free-sprung regulators, created by Patek in the late 40s and implemented in the 50s. It makes the watch more shock resistant because a mobile stud index can be moved by concussion of the watch, and that can change the timing. So this is more durable, but this also allows more precise setting of time by moving pairs of eccentric screws in and out on the balance rim horizontally opposed. Now everything here is superb in execution, and there are even things you can't see that are beautiful, like the intellectual concept of the decoupler. So when I activate the split, instead of dragging and slowing down the time and the other chronograph seconds hand, a decoupler decouples the seized hand from the movement, so it's not dragging on the movement, lowering the amplitude and causing a loss of time. And this is what the best chronographs from the best brands do. They use a decoupler system on their split. Lange also does that, so that's an important thing to note. Most of the chronograph components you see here are steel, so the clutch, the reset hammers, the springs, the pincers for the split mechanism, the column wheel, most of these elements are brushed on their top. That you can see is with the column wheel. Mirror polish is used as well. All these things are beveled on their sides, so bridges and plates, levers, hammers, clutches, all of this beveled on side. The bridges and plates made of rhodium plated brass. You can see engine turning in several different sizes, Côte de Genève on the few visible bridges. The jewel sinks, whether they're on steel or brass, all have internal beveling. Screw heads are polished with chamfered slots in circumference. And then we've got a metal overcoil hairspring for concentric breathing and consistent timekeeping, no matter what the orientation of the watch on your wrist or on your desk at night. So reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.